Hi folks, I'm going to show you how to take care of cold, flu, sore throat viruses, any kind of virus situation. If you feel that tickle on the back of your throat, that's a cold coming on, or a flu, sore throat, it's all pretty much a virus. I'm going to show you how to take care of that with some simple natural ingredients that you can find. I'm into natural ingredients, and I've been on pharmaceuticals, and there's just too many side effects. This doesn't have any side effects, and it works. I had a friend a long time ago that owned a pet store, and she used to use natural substances to cure animals. Okay, and they work on humans too. She'd use echinacea to if a bird fell off a perch, she could use echinacea to put that bird back on that perch. Well, she told me some of the advantages of this stuff here called colloidal silver. You can buy it in any health food store. It'll cost you a little bit of money. And then we know about zinc. This is 50 milligrams. I recommend 30. And then, zinc is good with viruses to help boost your immune system. So is vitamin C. These are 1,000 milligram tablets. And then hot water. Okay, so this is how we're going to do this. I have here just boil some water. I'm going to turn it on. There's no water in it. Okay, and then I'm going to take a cup. I'll just find me a cup real quick. I'm going to just use this cup right here. This right here is activated charcoal. I prefer to purify my water. I don't have a water filter, so this is just activated charcoal that you can get in any. It's in a loose tea strainer, and that's what it is. It's just activated charcoal. It helps purify your water. You put this in your water, it'll soak up chlorine, any field runoff if you use Roundup or anything like that, or some places even add fluoride to their water. Fluoride's not good for you, so I use non-fluoride toothpaste, and I just kind of clean my water up. So, if you have a filter, great. I'm kind of poor, so I just use this. And activated charcoal can be purchased in any pet store. They also have filter cartridges. They're just activated charcoal. I'll show you some of it. The little filter packs that you can buy for your filter, they got activated charcoal in them. That's what this is. It's just activated charcoal. And you change it about every week or so. Well, anyway, we get my cup. And since we get this thing out of the way here, we dip a cup in here. And I, use certain cookware, stainless steel, cast iron, and glass cookware, because there's dangers in using aluminum cookware. It's been linked to Alzheimer's disease. They found it in the brains of people with Alzheimer's. Number one, it's just not good for you. It is actually an electrical conductor, so your brain has electrical impulses in it and stuff, and it just messes things up. So I avoid aluminum cookware. And another thing is I've learned, like, aluminum cans. Yeah, they have a coating in them now. They never used to. But anyway, I'm trying to get some water in here, so I'm just going to take this out and set it aside and just grab this. This has been sitting here overnight. And I even learned in pet stores that you don't put fresh tap water. You don't put fish in fresh tap water. You got to let it set 24 hours or more to get room temperature. Not only that, so the chlorine evaporates out of it. Like you put chlorine in swimming pools. Yeah, same thing. Well, there's my water. It's on high, and it's going to boil. Now I'll take you to the next step. There's my water. There's my cup. There's my zinc, my vitamin C, and my colloidal silver. One thing colloidal silver does, I found, is it smothers viruses. So I got to find some mixing spoons. Or some measuring spoons. Here's some measuring spoons. And then with any metal, any kind of metal, magnesium, zinc, you got to go kind of low dose, right? And there's certain treatments you can do, like, was it chelation therapy? You go to a DO, instead of an MD, they'll do chelation therapy, and it'll remove, metals from your body. Some toxic metals are like mercury. They're contained in silver amalgam fillings. But chelation will remove some of that. There's also these things called ionic foot baths. You got to go to a health food store to get them or to do them. You know, they're the one I know of is $30, and it'll pull stuff out of your system. Basically, you can try one if you go to a health food clinic, you know, a health food store. I usually support my local health food store. I'm not a big fan of pharmaceuticals because they got too many side effects. But you go to a local health food store, and they got what's known as an ionic foot bath. Now, there's some cheap imitations out there, and most of these health food stores have the expensive models. You know, if you're going to get an ionic foot bath yourself, make sure it's from a reputable dealer and not some piece of cheap Chinese junk. Because, you know, there's videos on YouTube where people say that they're a scam. Well, I can tell you this. The one I did, you know, the scams are the ones that just show rusty colored water. That's because they're using a steel coil. And when you add electricity to steel or current, it'll rust faster, right? And they got to add like salt, right? A little bit of pinch of salt to like split an ion. From what I heard, it was discovered by the Japanese to remove plutonium and stuff like that from their bodies. But if you go to a reputable health food clinic, they got the professional models. And, you know, you're going to have to look online to get a professional model. You get these cheap ones, $100, $200. They're cheap. You get what you pay for. You're going to pay $700, and I've heard them going up to $5,000 a piece, you know. If you're going to pay for one, get a good one, right? But if you go to a health food clinic and you take an ionic foot bath and all it's showing is rusty colored water, there's a pretty good chance that's a cheap one. Don't do it again. Because the one I went and done, there was a little bit of rusty water, but there was greens, black bubbles, you know, different colored stuff. I seen oily substances coming out of the water, right? I'm going to try to post a video if I can. I'm not going to make any guarantees, but there was greens, black, oily substance. You know, if anybody's ever dropped oil on water and you see that rainbow, that comes out. You know, there's all kinds of stuff that'll come out, right? So that's a little clue on how to detoxify your body. So now I've got my water boiling. I've got my thermos. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to place my phone down for a second, okay? And I'll place it right here by these vitamins and minerals. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, let's see how it's okay. My hand is here, you can see it, right? This is the zinc, right? Here it is, zinc. I'm going to take one of these. This is 50 milligrams. I actually recommend 25. But I'm going to put one of these. I'll take my cap off. There they are, see? And no sleight of hand, nothing like that. Here it is, right? Get my camera. There it is. That's at 25 milligrams of zinc. This is my thermos. I'm going to pop one of these in there. See that? There it is. Okay, now I'm going to take this down. I'll put it down again. This right here is the vitamin C. I recommend getting good ones, you know. You get what you pay for. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about 6,000 milligrams. These are 1,000 milligram tablets. So I take about, 6,000 milligrams. Vitamin C, the worst that's going to happen if you take too much is you're just going to get diarrhea. That's called vitamin C saturation. You got to have a little vitamin C every day because what a friend of mine told me in the pet stores, humans and guinea pigs are the only two creatures on the face of the earth that don't produce their own vitamin C. We know that by studies of scurvy, your scurvy dog from pirates, and then British sailors being called limey, limey bastards. Well, that's because they took lime juice. Okay, but alcohol, I'm going to tell you right now, avoidance of alcohol is the best thing you can do because alcohol does a lot of bad things to your body. It destroys vitamin C, it destroys acidophilus and bacteria, or I can't remember, bacteria. All your intestinal bacteria, it destroys it. So just alcohol, avoidance of alcohol is just better, okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's all of them, okay? Now, this colloidal silver, how this works, from what a friend informed me, this smothers viruses. It takes oxygen away from them. So, you're going to go low dose with this. So, there it is. And I got the smallest one I can find on my measuring. This is 1/8 of a teaspoon, right? And I'm going to lay this down here so you can see me do it, right? And I'm going to pour just a little bit. You have to go real low dose on colloidal silver. Just a little hint. If you ever see a copper roof, when they put it on, it's copper colored. And after the rain hits it for a while, it turns green. This is the same substance. It's basically they do reverse plating. They run current through a piece of silver, and it puts the silver in the water. Well, you know, plating is putting a current a certain way, like a steel spoon. And they put a piece of gold in there or something like that. Well, that gold will travel up and plate the spoon. This is kind of in reverse. Okay, they get the silver to disperse in a solution. Okay, so there's your 1/8 teaspoon. And I'm just going to take that. And now my water's boiling right now. Okay. Where's that? Where's my camera? There it is. There it is. I'm pouring it in. Okay. Now, I'm going to cap all this stuff up. There's my C. You know, I recommend, you know, non-GMO foods versus GMO. And I'm pretty sure, you know, like with certain mental health issues and stuff, Kava is way better than Xanax. I've done it. You know, avoidance of sugar, artificial sweeteners like saccharin, NutraSweet, any of them, you know. I use stevia or raw honey or maple syrup. I don't like artificial stuff. And I'll just give you a hint about something else. So see my water here? It's boiling. This is what you do. This water, I'm going to pick it up, right, and flip this back. And you got to watch, it's hot, right? So this is boiling water. And you bring it over here. Now, you got to be careful so you don't scald yourself. Don't have any kids around, anything like this. Well, this is just for people that want to head off a cold. And I've tried it. It works. It does work. You know, there's no danger in it. It can't kill you. You know, this is do no harm. Well, there it is. Now, the next thing you do is you cap it off, right? Okay, now you got to be careful when you do this so you don't scald yourself. Well, anyway, over here, there's my sink. Yeah, I got a few dirty dishes. But you shake it. Now, turn it upside down. Now, make sure you're not, you know, you see that water leaking out there? That's hot, so don't burn yourself. Right? So you shake it up and down. And all I'm doing is getting them vitamins and that zinc to dissolve. And to do this is easy. You know, there's your thermos, there's your mixture. And kind of how this works is colloidal silver smothers viruses, right? Heat, we all know your body tries to fight off a virus by fever. Okay. Well, if your brain's made out of fat, so if your fever gets too high, it's going to hurt your brain. So this is how it works. There it is. You'll see some stuff. But that's just the vitamin, right? And the most important thing is don't scald yourself, and you're going to have to drink this whole thermos. But don't burn your mouth. So now what I do, and like I said, I've tried it, so it works. I'm still alive. Well, you pour some of this in here, right? And if you got little kids, you got to keep them away. And if you want to treat little kids for stuff like that, or like infants, you don't want to force hot water on them, okay? So you're best to use a thermometer. You know, I would say if, you know, above 106, you know, I don't know, nurses and stuff like that, you might know. But, you know, you have to look it up, what temperature you have to break a fever at. This has just got to be slightly above it. Okay, so how I do it is, you know, I use my finger, right? And you stick your finger in it. And like I said, don't do this around kids, you know. Anyway, there's that. See, that's hot. It's burned my finger. So the best thing you can do is blow on it. Right? You see the vitamins? That's just natural vitamins floating around. That's all that is. Anyway, you want it to cool down. And the whole purpose of this is simple. Viruses are a spiky ball. I know you've all seen pictures of them. They're a spiky ball. And on the end of that spike is like a key. They bump up against the throat cell, and that key hits that cell membrane. It tricks that cell into letting it in. We use colloidal silver to smother, right? This helps smother, take the oxygen away. This is zinc. It's something that helps build your immune system to help it fight. And we also know vitamin C, right? And you can check out like doctoryourself.com. There's a good place for resources, but this is all biblical too. I mean, God gave us all seed-bearing fruit, herb, vegetable, everything with seeds in it. That's why I go non-GMO. Okay, GMO is a genetically modified organism. If you take a GMO corn and dry it and then break the ear and try to plant that corn, it's not going to grow. So try to get away from that stuff, you know. And I would say the ideal is to get away from all pharmaceuticals, you know. Ideal, right? If you can, at all possible. And there's a new executive order that was signed by President Trump. It's called the right to try. You can look that one up, and you can do these experimental treatments yourself, you know, under doctor supervision, you know, to make sure you're not going to hurt yourself. But I can tell you right now, don't drink a whole bottle of this. You know, there's cases where people have actually drank a whole bottle of this or a lot of it, and it turned their skin blue or gray. It's the same principle as a copper roof turning green, right? This'll pigment your skin because your intracellular water is clear, right? And this, you want to go low dose, you know. Too much zinc, too much chromium, or too much iron, yeah, it'll kill you, right? It will. Too much iron will definitely kill you. And then vitamin C, right? So we use heat, right, to basically go down your throat, right, and coat your throat. And that'll help kill the virus that hasn't gained access to your cells. And any cells that have it, it'll kill those too with just the heat, right? And then the colloidal silver may or may not, you know, kill that virus also from the outside. But, you know, when a virus hits your stomach, it's done. The stomach acid will kill it. Okay, basically what it is this kind of kills any virus that hasn't got into a throat cell, plus it kills the viruses that have got into a throat cell. And then when the vitamin C and zinc circulate into your blood, into your system, they'll boost your immune system. And then this colloidal silver, it's got certain properties. It'll smother the virus and take it away. You know, that's basically how it works. So there's my cup of water. And you got to do this whole thermos, whole thing, because that's vitamin C, zinc, your colloidal silver, and everything. So do the whole thermos. This is, you know, not approved by the FDA, and I'm just going to tell you like it is. I'm not a real fan of the FDA. Food and Drug Administration? No, the FDA allows so much stuff in your food, and, you know, food additives, I'm just going to tell you. There's stuff like calcium propionate. I used to work in a bakery. Calcium propionate will cause you to have a violent reaction. I mean, you'll jump back from the table when you smell it. So I go for all natural, you know, non-leavened or unleavened bread. You know, I believe in the Israelite diet as the healthiest diet because, you know, God created it, you know. I don't eat pork. I don't eat shellfish. If I try to avoid GMO wherever I can, you know, if somebody gives me something and I don't know what it is, you know, I'm kind of, you know, skeptical or kind of suspicious, you know. So I pray over it, you know. But anyway, like I said, this is how this works. So I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna blow on it, and I'm gonna sip it. Now I can get it in, right? But no, with kids, you know, babies and stuff like that, you could probably get away with, you know, a little bit, you know, you don't want a baby drinking, you know, scalding water. So you see, you just don't. So you could probably get away with colds. I would say, like, with this coronavirus thing going on, I don't know, you know. But I do need that kids need to have their immune system built, right? So sometimes you don't want to treat them for every little ache and pain. You want to build their immune system. But, you know, you can definitely give them vitamin C and a little zinc, right? You can definitely give a baby vitamin C and zinc, right? And as far as hot water goes, I'd cool it to where they can actually drink it, you know. You know, baby, I don't know, babies, you know, that's a different story, but little kids, you know, like toddlers and stuff like that, if you can get them to just start sipping it, you know, not hot, because, you know, they spill that on them, they're going to hurt themselves. I'm not going to advise that. So, you know, that's going to be at your own discretion. And you can use a thermometer if you have a thermometer. I got pretty thick skin, so I just touch it. It's still burning a little bit. If you stick your finger in there for a little bit and you got to pull it out and shake it, yeah, it's definitely too hot, right? But you could talk to your pediatrician, or I recommend a DO versus an MD, because I just look at it like this: naturopathic medicine versus allopathic. It's the story of two ponds. You know, you got two ponds full of allergy. Allopathic doctor, which uses medications and stuff like that, they look at it and they add this medication. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you took a whole bottle of any type of medication, it's going to kill you, right? It's just out and out. You're going to overdose on it, right? But the naturopathic doctor will look at the algae in the pond and try to introduce something natural to eat the algae, right? Because allopathic doctor is going to put some kind of, algicide in it. It's going to kill the algae, right? But it's going to kill everything else in the pond too, right? Naturopathic kind of looks at it like, we got to find something to eat the algae, right? Without killing everything in it, right? That's how naturopathic doctors work, And you can check your local health food stores. I'm going to tell you what, there's a big fight between allopathic doctors and naturopathic doctors, right? And there's not a lot of compromise. And dryourself.com, there's a case of schizophrenia on there with Dr. Abraham Hoffer. And, I honestly believe schizophrenia can even be healed, because I was on medication, since I was 23 years off and on, right? And I just don't take it no more. I'm not just not gonna happen, They diagnosed me with chronic undifferentiated schizophrenia and a bunch of other crap, And you can go on dryourself.com, and there's plenty of resources on there, right? But I'm a big believer in God and the Bible, and there's a lot of truth in dryourself.com, but there's more truth in the Bible, right? I'm just gonna say that, And there's a big movement going back to GMO products like this one. You can find see that non-GMO, And I'm gonna give you a little thing about artificial colors. If let's just put it this way, if that's your cell water right there and it's clear, what color is it going to be when you add red food coloring? Red, of course. Well, if you know a little bit about colors and you add red and blue, it's going to be purple, right? But if you add them all, it's going to be black, right? That's where I go on artificial colors. I don't like them, right? Artificial sweeteners, saccharin causes cancer. Aspartame turns to formaldehyde in your body. So, artificial sweeteners, no. This is what I prefer. I prefer sweeteners like stevia. That's good for you. It's all natural. Vegan even, right? Here's another one. Instead of using Mrs. Butterworth, artificially flavored stuff, there's maple syrup. Yeah, it's a little more expensive, but you can actually mix it down. You can add some of this and a little bit of water or a little bit of honey or whatever, and stretch this, right? It's expensive, but it's natural. See that? Organic, right? And then like coconut oil. Here's a good one. This is what? What's it say? Non-GMO. Let me get it to focus. Get it to focus. See that? Non-GMO. So, yeah, look at it. 100 calories, 13 degrees saturated fat, no sodium, no total sugars, no. So, like I said, that's the way I go. Natural oils like extra virgin olive oil. Coconut oil is a real high temperature, so you can cook with it, right? You can fry stuff with it. Hydrogenated oils, I'm going to tell you right now, like Crisco and fast food joints use hydrogenated oil. That's because they take all the stuff out of it that goes rancid, right? And that's what clogs people's arteries, So I'm not a big fan of fast food, and if I do, I try to go as healthy as possible. I don't eat pork. You can go in the Bible and look up the unclean in Hebrew is tame, which means toxic, and pigs are unclean. So if it's got fins or scales, I eat it. And here's another thing. These are sardines, right? Chicken of the sea. You really got to watch it. See, that's aluminum. That's actually an aluminum can. But it has a plastic coating, so you're not getting the aluminum. And fish is acidic, right? So acid foods will bring aluminum out into your food. See that product of Poland? I'd rather go there than China, you know, because China's pretty much poisoned their own land with, you know, industrial chemicals and stuff like that. I don't want to eat anything out of China, you know. I just don't. No. I'll go eat something from somewhere else, you know. So yeah, that's aluminum. And I don't eat oysters or anything like that. But any kind of oily fish like this, these are oily fish. And if you don't like sardines, there's ways to make them tastier. These are in hot sauce. Some of them are lightly smoked. Some of them are in mustard. You can try different condiments, you know. I try to go for natural ketchup because I'm not a big sugar fan. I try to stay away from sugar as much as possible, you know. There's better forms of starch than actually a potato, you know. Rice, I go brown instead of white because brown's got B vitamins. White, they polish all the brown off of it. And there's a disease known as beriberi, and its symptoms are lethargic behavior, depression, stuff like that. And I guess it was in Polynesia or South Pacific or something like that. But they would polish all the brown off the rice, and it was all white. Well, you polished all the B vitamins off. And B vitamins are real helpful for depression. There's certain things, even for schizophrenia, if you look up doctoryourself.com, niacin is real helpful. You know, you can look that up. You know, doctoryourself.com. It'll help you out. But anyway, here's my stuff again, or my mixture again. This will take care of antivirus symptoms, cold, flu, sore throat, you know. I'd even say, you know, I'd venture to say AIDS, herpes, stuff like that. Best way to get rid of a virus is boost your immune system to fight it, right? And this is not intended to replace advice from your doctor, you know. I'm just saying it for disclaimer, you know. I don't want to get sued. This is not practicing medicine. This is all natural. And I'm just going to tell you right now, medications are patented materials. They got a patent on them, much like a car, right? You can't patent a natural material. You can't patent a fruit, right? Especially a non-GMO fruit. You know, but GMO fruit, there's a patent. They create them in a lab, so there you go. This is non-genetically modified, right? You know, those bright little zebra Daniels that you see in the pet stores that are all different colors. I had a friend from a pet store tell me they crossed a sea urchin with a zebra Daniel, and that's how they got those colors. So, mankind is pretty stupid. I mean, as far as that, how I put this, mankind that's trying to play God, you know, no, Man, I'm going to tell you right now, man has never created anything. He's always fast. Like this, did man create that? No. He fashioned this out of something that was already here, right? That glass, did he make that? No, he fashioned it out of something that was already here. You know, sand and soda, you know, it was already here. He fashioned it, right? He put tools to it. He did this, you know. That's patents, you know. But anyway, this is my cold and flu thing. Sore throat. It works, trust me. I do it, and I'm not dead. But if you got immune system issues or something like that, kidney transplant, I don't know what to tell you there. You can try this. You can try this, and I think it would work, possibly, you know. Because, well, I don't know. You boost your immune system, it'll reject your kidney. So, I don't know. That's why, you know, I'm a donor, but that's after I'm dead, you know. But, anyway, there it is. Now, I'm actually getting this down past the back of my tongue without burning my tongue. So, I can swallow it now. I can actually swallow gulps of it, right? So, but don't go real fast, so just start gulping it. Okay, there's one drink. I got it gulped. And you feel the heat on your throat, trust me, but it's not burning it, see? I wish I had a temperature thing. I got one of these for poultry, but I don't actually have a temperature gauge. Yeah, this is my little thing right here. I got a bunch of junk laying around, so I'll see if I can find my... This is for poultry, right? Let's see what it is. See how much it goes up. So I got it in there real good. It's setting in there. Where's that needle at? There's a needle. Is it even climbing? Maybe this thing don't work. This is for cooking poultry. It's not really climbing. Let me lay my phone down real quick. I don't think this works. I don't think it works. It hasn't even come up. Has it come up off the thing? No, it hasn't really come up off it. I'm not sure this works. You know, you can use a food thermometer. I think it. Wait a minute. Let me see. I'll look with my eyes. My eyes aren't real good anymore. Yeah, it's not moving. But anyway, I can tell you right now. I can stick my finger in there. It's still kind of hot, but the thing of it is you can gulp it. And I'm telling you what, it's well over fever. It's well over fever. So, this will help. And you got to do the whole thermos, you know, the whole thing. So,